Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast, where I clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity and practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day.
Okay, so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Colin Smith Brooks. And since I've been doing this, backyard cleaning and such like that, it's that, and we made some progress, had some significant progress recently. But it's time to go back to the past again. Yeah, man. Talk about the first job I've ever had. Well, the first job where I actually got paid. hmm So to do this now, you have to just go back to when I was young. Those times my mother was working in a shop, and then I would just go out there. I would either be out there, and I think it was in the summer. So I was out there, not doing my thing. You try just doing any random thing, or sometimes I have some for other people around my age that don't play and such like that. So I was out there in the shop, and then there this have beside the shop of this person that had a house, house and thing. And he would just come and come in the shop sometime and talk to mother and whatnot. And then one day he said something like, yo, if you don't rate the yard, you don't pay you something like $200, 200 Jamaican dollars. So, looking back at it now, that was some slave labor. That was some slave labor, that $200. For what I did, it was slave labor. But as my mother boosts me up and say, yeah, man, go do it. And then I say, yeah. I say, okay. So boom. So the next day, now I went down there now. Give me the rake and said, okay, see the leaves in here and the place filled with leaves. When I say filled, where I say you couldn't see the grass that grow. It was just bare leaves. And so I had to just rake it up. So the plan that I had was just simply I'm just going to rake them up on a scoop and then just heat them up at one place, So that's what I was doing the whole day, and I said, the sun was hot, and it took me the whole day to basically sweep up everything and heat them up. And just heat them up in the middle, and just when I finish, I just done. And I started in the morning and finished like way down 4, 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that. So, boom. So like the man come to the shop now and said, okay, you finished and thing. I said, yeah. And he just give me the money. I say, yeah, I have the money. I did. And I took the money. Me wanted to let me buy a drink from mother shop. Show me have money now, but I said, oh, would have to buy a drink now instead of get free. Alright, maybe I will buy something else, but yeah. So boom, that day done and everything. So the next day come now, and me out of the shop again and stuff like that. And the man come in the shop and I said, you're not done the job. And I said, what you mean? I mean, we're not done the job. I just rate them up and hook them and hit them up at the wrong place. And we said, what? Yeah, that's how we done. So by the time we said I go a movie, rate them up over to our next part. So basically, the rest of the next day now, that day, we basically rake and then move all of those leaves to the place where I say me and I say, yo, that took another whole day. And the thing about it, doing this chore now, doing clean up backyard now and look and thinking about back then, I think it was harder back then because I was very young and then the leaves, raking those leaves with the rake was significantly more heavy. Now that I'm older, I'm kind of stronger. But back then, imagine being weak and you rake up the leaves and a whole lot of leaves. When we say whole lot, it could be around five garbage bags worth of leaf. I imagine you have to rake that as a kid. So that was the thing that I was doing for the whole day, trying to move it to what it is. And then all that done for basically around $200, $200 Jamaican dollars. And I just said, damn, bro. Mm, that was it. And, that was a great experience. That was a terrible experience. But I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad I went. Well, no, I wasn't glad. I'm not glad I went through that at all. That could have been avoided. These are unnecessary work. I should be. What? It's one of those stories where I say, yeah, you're gonna get put in some very bullshit job. And you just have to depending on the position which you're in, sometimes you just have to do it. Because right now, looking back, but that job that I did, and I actually get paid, even though it's $200 was seemed like a lot at the time. This what I'm doing now is free. Well, it's free for myself, for my own personal development, you know. But that's yes, this story kind of gives you the idea of how you're going to have to be looking at majority of the job, where many have place they'll be underpaying you to do certain job. I have to really think about it and I said, okay, is me doing this going to progress me or anything? Yeah, so that's basically the story of my first ever job that I get paid in. Yeah. All right, so thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Basically me going out again. Oh, this backyard cleaning, man. We have made significant progress. But another thing that has been giving me some troubles, is insects, bro. Yo, like who would have thought that just simply cleaning the backyard would cause so much, you know? this, yeah, but the important thing is if I just get through this the first time, I think other times will be just kind of as, but it should be easier. But so, and what else, this war, bro, this war against Russia and Ukraine is really have some direct effect on